Right, good afternoon, guys. A portrait shoot out on the beach. But first of all, have you ever seen a rainbow wave before? Pretty cool. Just managed to capture it. It's not quite in focus, but there you go. So, out with my friend Sophie. She is another photographer, but she really fancies being in front of the camera. She has done a bit of modelling for me before in the past, but she really wanted to do some nice natural sort of not really edited shots at all. So they are converted to black and white. There was a little bit of adjustments in the raws, but other than that, there's no retouching, no softening the skin or anything like that. It's all as natural as possible. But what I did do was a little bit of high-speed video as well. So I've put together, which you'll be watching right now, a little bit of a video of her just walking and enjoying the location. The location is actually a place called Pett Level. It's in East Sussex in the UK, southeast, near Rye, and Hastings in between. And it's a beach that used to actually be, back before the English Channel was there, a valley with trees and everything in it. So actually, when the tide goes out, you can actually see mummified or preserved tree trunks in the water, in the rocks and everything. It's quite mad. But as you can see here, it was a big wave day. It was windy, but not really. And actually almost a perfect day. It was a little bit of sunshine, really moody clouds, which you'll see from the photos. So huge waves. The tide was going out, so we have this almost like shelf of rocks and stuff that's hidden by the water. But as the tide goes out, the waves start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when the conditions are just right, you get these big crashing shots. Like a lot of people, black and white can really give you an atmospheric look. It takes away the colours and everything like that. Just before you carry on, please go and follow Sophie at #photos_ there, as also my Instagram as well. So go and give her a follow and me a follow if you haven't already. These are some of the shots. So like I say, these are just converted to black and white from colour, or some are colour as well. So I've just done some sort of duplicates, but obviously adjusted them. Other than that, no real editing whatsoever, so pretty much straight out of camera, bar a little bit of brightness or contrast and stuff like that, adjustments, but hardly anything, like a few points here or there. So generally that, maybe a bit of a crop in. But the lenses I was using the 135G Master, shooting on the A1, and the Samyang there, it's not, Sigma 35mm f1.2. So I bought that lens a few months ago. It was used in mint condition. That lens retails at around about 1,500 quid. So not a cheap lens by any means, but I absolutely love it. It really gives a nice angle of view. It's mega sharp even at f1.2. And it just works really, really nicely. So it complements the 135G Master really nicely as two really, really good portrait lenses. The reason I actually swayed more towards the 35 is just because I wanted to show the background a lot more. Just quickly, there's Sophie on the right hand side there, and then we spotted a nice little seal there out swimming. Unfortunately, it disappeared very quickly. By the time I changed to the 135 to try and get a closer shot, I had to crop in there, but yeah, he disappeared and off he swam. But yeah, generally I generally shoot with the 135. Absolutely love that lens. But the 35mm now is changing the way I shoot. It's just so good. It really gives a lovely look to the shots. It's super sharp, like I say, even at f1.2, so you can actually blur the background out nicely, even in wide angle. But as you can see here, even black and white colour, it just pops. It just really has got that real punchy look to the images, and I really love that. I mean, it's totally up to you how everyone's got different tastes, different thoughts on it. I think I paid £850 for it, used, something like that. So absolute bargain. Still an expensive lens, even though it's used, but it is a dream lens almost, to add to my collection of shots that lenses I use to do shoots with. Sophie's fantastic. She's got a fantastic personality. She looks amazing, really natural as well. But it's her smile. It really brings the photos alive. So when she is a little bit moody or whatever like that, that really works. But then suddenly this beautiful smile appears, and as you've seen for the video earlier on, she just comes out with it. I probably said something silly to make her laugh or smile, but quite often she'll just smile. We were so lucky with the really moody clouds on the right hand side there coming from the west heading east. So we did lose the sun a few times and it went really dark. But with her sort of white suit that she had, it worked really, really well with the white water from the big crashing waves and everything. It just worked really well. It's almost like a white carpet, and then she's obviously got wet. But there you can see it's just works really, really well. It's down to personal opinion on black and white and colour, but I like the sky. I like the way skin colours and everything are on this shot. But I think the black and white ones really, really have a different look and a real good feel to them. You've got the old groins there, which are really fantastic to shoot with, and obviously the crashing waves and everything like that, and it just brings out skin tones in black and white, and it just makes it really interesting. But then you've got that look with the clouds have got a slightly blue tint to them because they're just moody and angry and everything, and it's just mad really how well it was working. We were so lucky because the day before chucked it down with rain, the day after chucked it down with rain. So yeah, very, very lucky on this shoot, and it just was awesome. Like I say, no real editing other than processing, so you know, I'm not retouching any skin or anything like that. No body shaping, nothing. Both Sophie and I actually agree that we really don't like the way the world of filters, you know, like in Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and all that sort of stuff, the fakery. So, you know, we both really agree that trying to keep them as realistic as possible really makes a big deal, because, you know, end of the day, you're a real person, you know, you look good naturally, you know, and without all the fakery. So totally up to whatever you want to do as a person, but we both agree that actually having some really nice shots like this, natural shots, can make all the difference to a shoot. So just really, really pleased with them. She loves most of them. Obviously, when you look at yourself, you're very critical compared to me. Obviously, me looking at the photos, I go, yep, she looks amazing. But then Sophie might go, actually, I don't really like that one. And I'll be like, okay, I do. But you're always going to be critical of your own looks, aren't you? Really, really cool though. We were so lucky because we were actually going to do a town shoot. So originally we were going to go into a town and actually use some buildings and stuff like that. I'm glad we actually just went down the beach in the end and managed to capture these, because I think it was almost like a one chance wonder, because the weather, it was almost a break in the bad weather, because we've had rain for weeks and it wasn't really forecast to be sunny, but the sun came out and actually it wasn't very cold. So yeah, it was actually a really pleasant day. As you can see there, that was with the 135. This is with the 35, and there's a very similar look to both those lenses, which is really, really quite good for what I do. Obviously, I'm not shooting at f1.2 all the time, or I'm not shooting f1.8 all the time. But if you are shooting like this, where I was shooting probably f4, you want a bit more background in focus, so you've got your, what's going on and a bit more depth. But then if you want to lose the background, obviously you open the lens up and actually get what you want. There is a little bit of fringing going on from that lens, but it only really seems to show up on the lower res side of things. When you actually zoom in fully, it sort of almost disappears. So it's almost like the replication of lower res. When you're viewing it on the screen or whatever, it actually shows up. But anyway, guys, that was basically the shoot, and let me know what you think. She had a really good time, which is quite pleased, because it's very difficult as a photographer like she is. It is hard to get the other side of the camera and have photos taken of you. Ever since having the YouTube channel, I don't really care anymore. I'll just jump in front of the camera, be a bit of an idiot, and have a bit of fun, and I really don't care what I look like. So but a lot of people do, so they find it a little bit harder. And in fact, I did find it harder. I wouldn't really get in front of the camera very often, unless I really had to. So you generally do hide behind the camera. So it's not easy. Obviously, a lot of people find it easy, especially proper models. Some people just love being in front of the camera, so that's really fantastic. But as a photographer yourself, I think it's very good, or very good practice, to actually jump in front of the camera sometimes, because one, you get to feel how the models are feeling, and and the kind of images. I mean, I quite often do the poses and everything like that beforehand, and show people what I'm going to try to achieve. So there's things like that you'll actually do, etc., etc. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to go, if you haven't followed us already, go and follow us on Instagram, and we shall see you soon for another video. Take care.